Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have braids, but I know that's not why you clicked on the video. If you've seen the title, I am engaged. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you already know that, and I cannot thank you enough for just all of the outpouring of love and kindness on that post. It's my most liked photo on Instagram, and I really truly felt the love and support, so thank you guys so much. And also thank you just for allowing me to have a break. I decided that this time I wasn't going to do any kind of Christmas Eve or Boxing Day filming like I've done in the past, especially because I went to the US to see my mum and I haven't seen her in a couple years, so it was nice to really just spend that quality time with her and be in the moment. And it made it all the more special when I got engaged. So Alex actually proposed to me on the 27th of December. So it wasn't Christmas Day, Christmas Eve or Boxing Day. It was just after that. If you don't know Alex, I will leave our boyfriend tag in the description box. We've been together for 10.5 years now. We're high school sweethearts, so it just feels like the right time. Like, I'm sure most people that get married feel the same. Like, when it does happen, you're like, yes, like it just feels right. I used to love watching 4 weddings on Living TV. Does anyone remember Living TV? Now it's like, oh, I actually am getting married. So I actually have to think of things that we like and want, and none of it is any of the stuff that I thought it would be, or so far. So yeah, I'm gonna share our proposal story with you guys, and it just feels like the right time. So where my mum lives is known as the rose capital of the United States. Back in its heyday, because the soil was so good for growing roses there and other flowers, but mainly roses, they mass-produced and marketed to the rest of the states. So economically, that's how they grew and did really well. Not so much anymore, especially what with the internet and everything, but it's still known for that. And because of that, they have a rose garden. And there's loads of little like rose motifs as you're going through the town. And if you know me, especially if you read my blog under travel and experience, I always go to gardens whenever Alex and I go on holidays. I just find it really peaceful and serene to walk around gardens. So it's something that I always look to do as a tourist experience. So this was no different. We both said, like, let's go to the rose garden. That's what it's known for. It's gonna be beautiful. And it was funny because the Boxing Day, it poured it down with rain, and I mean poured it down. Like, we've had storms in England, obviously, but this was like pure thunder, pure lightning. There was no, because obviously it's like country and spacious, there's no, I don't know, light pollution or anything blocking it, so you could really see the thunder and the lightning. It said that it was going to be sunny the next day, so we're like, okay, well, if it is, we doubt it, but if it is, then we'll go to the rose garden then, because it just seems like the right thing to do. And lo and behold, we woke up that morning and it was like it never rained at all. It was boiling hot, like a summer's day in December, 20 degrees. And what makes it even more crazy is the rest of the holiday, there was none of that weather. It was either raining or cold. But that one day, it was sunny, 20 degrees, blue skies, dry ground. It was mental. But anyway, the weather was really good. So we went, funnily enough, my mum was like, I want to show you off to all my friends. So we went and we met all of her friends. We had some lunch, and then we're like, yep, let's go to the rose garden because the weather's great. We got there and there's kind of like a building, and you go through the building and the garden's on the other side, and you can't really see it from the outside. I think it's like walled off. It's like a walled off garden and quite high walls. So yeah, you have to kind of go through this entranceway to the back, and the garden's out there. And when you go through the entranceway, it smells incredible, because if you also know me, I love anything rose scented. I've said it quite a few times on my channel, and I think on my perfume collection, stuff like that. I love anything rose scented, so the minute I stepped in there, they had some sort of rose diffuser, and they also had a rose gift shop, and it had all these lovely smelling items. It was delicious. It smelled amazing. So we made our way through, and it was super quiet. Obviously it's winter, it was, you know, low season. We got really lucky because there were still loads of rosebuds. Lots of carnations, and I think camellia flowers as well. Really lucky because we thought, it being the middle of December, that everything would have been dried up. But we still wanted to go just for a peaceful tourist walk around, as I say. So we went down into the gardens, because you have to go down these steps once you come out of the building section. And we're walking around, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. And I said, this would be a lovely place to get married. Like, oh, it's just so beautiful, like the vast gardens and fields. And we're walking around, and there's like a gazebo to the left of us. And I'm like, oh, look at the gazebo. And there's fountains and a bridge. It was just so picturesque. And I was like, my mum was like, let's go to the gazebo. And Alex was like, no, let's go to the gazebo last. Like, it's so nice. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, we'll walk around here. We've got so much more of the garden to see. We'll walk around, and then we'll come back and we'll take some pictures by the gazebo. So we walk around, we're seeing all the different flowers, reading the little card things they have about what the flowers are. And there's literally nobody there. It's just me, my mum and Alex, and some gardeners. There was nobody else. And took a few lovely, lovely photos. Usually when I ask Alex to take photos of me, because obviously being content creator, I don't just take one photo, I take like 50. I think most of us nowadays do. And usually he would complain, but I thought he was being polite, and he was just taking loads of photos of us. And I'm taking photos of Alex and my mum as well. And we make our way back, and we get to the gazebo. So it's the central focal part. It's a really big gazebo with like benches around it, lakes, fountains, like little cherub sculptures with like fountains coming out of it. And we're standing in there taking some photos. I'm like, oh yeah, take some photos of me and my mum. And we took some photos of me and him on my camera. And then Alex goes, oh, my mum's name, could you please take a photo of Zara and I on my phone? He's got this new phone, really good camera. So we did, really liked it. And then after that, I was just like, okay, great. Nice little photo shoot. Let's go get some dinner. So I march off to the side of the benches where I've put my bag and coat, you know, so it doesn't get in the way of the photos. And Alex goes, oh, come back here, like give me a kiss. So I did. And then I go again, like I am the most impatient person, it's awful. So I'm marching off again, and he goes, there's one more thing. And then I turn around, and he was wearing a big summer jacket. Remember, it was really hot, and I was wearing like a frigging off the shoulder, nearly crop top thing with jeans, and he was wearing his big winter jacket. And I did actually say to him when we were taking the photos, take off your jacket, like you look really wintry and I look summery, we have to have a summery photo together. And he did, and then he quickly put the jacket back on. Here's why. Because when I then turned around to him and he was like, there's one more thing, he pulled a box out of his coat pocket. And I looked at it like this pink box, and I looked at it, and funny enough, because it had just been Christmas, I went, necklace, like I just thought, extra Christmas gift. He went, I've been waiting to ask you this for a long time. And I went, oh my God, is this happening? So I threw my coat and bag back down, and I went, Mom, I was like, Mom, take a photo. And I was like, because obviously, as I said, I wanted to get married. We've talked about marriage before. We've been together for such a long time. So when I finally clocked, like, I wanted to ask you this for a long time, it was like, oh my gosh, I think this is happening, the proposal. So to begin with, I was just like, woo! Like, absolutely ecstatic. And he was so sweet, and he was dressed up so smart. So yeah, he pulled out the ring out of his pocket. He said, I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. And I was there, I was like fiddling with my necklace, and he got down on one knee and he said, there isn't anyone else that I'd want to spend my life with but you. So will you undo the bow? Because the box was wrapped in a silk bow. So I undid the bow, and then he opened it and it revealed the ring. And he said, Zara, will you marry me? And that is when the ugly tears started. I think in between that I was going, Mom, Mom. The ugly tears started, and I was just like, wow, this is actually happening. And I said, of course. And the crying was continuing, and I kept going, it's beautiful, I love you so much. So at this point he had to stand up, because I literally was near hysterical. He had to stand up and like so that he could actually put the ring on, because I was just like this, like shielding my face, like happy crying. And I don't think I've ever happy cried before until then. It was just the most perfect day. The weather was amazing. No one was around us. I was in a rose garden, like it was just magical. And the fact that I don't get to see my mum often, it was just so thoughtful of him to propose when my mum was there, so that we could all celebrate with her. That really just meant so much to me, and I thought was just, it shows the kind of character that Alex is. He's the loveliest man you'd ever be lucky to meet, and I have the absolute luck of marrying. It was just superb. It was just the best day of my life. Like, I remember saying that. I said it's the best day of my life. And then funnily enough, once that had finished and we walked around the other section of the garden a little bit more, we did actually see somebody setting up for a wedding. I think because I was turning to everyone, I saw the gardeners come around again, and I went, I'm engaged, like, and I saw some gentlemen like setting up, because where the gazebo is, it goes over a bridge, and then there's some stairs to like a kind of viewing point, I would call it. So they were setting up, and he said, oh yeah, we're setting up for a wedding, we're getting married this evening. And I was like, oh my god, I just got engaged. So we were swapping our congratulations. It was just so lovely. And something that I kind of wanted to touch upon a little bit is, just before I left, or when I was leaving actually, I put on my community page here on YouTube that, you know, I was going off to see my mum, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break, and that someone wasn't well. And it was actually Alex's brother. He was really unwell. And so the last thing on my mind was getting engaged. So it came as a complete surprise to me, because it was just like, I just hope that he's better, and we just hope that we get to Texas safe and see my mum and spend time with her. Like, there was no thought in my head about it, and that's what also made it even more special. And as I've said, like, I've thought so much about marriage, but the funny thing is, when I've thought about marriage, I've actually thought just about eloping. Like, if you ask a couple of people that I talk about weddings to, I mention eloping quite a bit. And I've said it to my mum as well. I don't know, I get a bit when it comes to like big family events like that. So the idea of having a wedding which would be a big family event was like, not really. But with like Alex's brother falling ill, and actually when we got back, my brother fell really ill as well. So it's like you had this lovely surprise of our engagement in between that, and that, you know, that all of that familyness, all of that tying in, and having that time away from the internet and everything, and spending time with my mum, it really has brought about a new self-awareness and maturity, I suppose, when it comes to family and how important family and friends are, and the memories that you share with people. And it's made me want to be a more involved person. So I definitely think we're going to have a wedding. Thankfully, he is so much better now, and I have to say a serious thank you to you guys as well that commented your prayers, offered up your prayers on my community post. It really does mean the world, and like a few of the girls at my workplace as well, like everyone was just so supportive. So at the moment we are just looking for venues. We're just these next couple months going to wedding fairs and visiting venues and securing what dates we really want. We hopefully are getting married next summer 2020, but you know, play it by ear, see how it all goes. I loved watching wedding stuff on YouTube, so I'd love to definitely put my spin on it and show you guys how I've been planning, because I'm not using a wedding planner or anything like that. We're doing it ourselves, and hopefully I'll be able to share with you how I have found it, my experience as I've gone along the way. So if there's any particular wedding videos that you want to see, let me know. Hair wise, a couple videos ago I said like I really need to go to a hairdresser's to get professional trim because I haven't been in years. Well, now that I'm getting married, I'm going to be going to several hairdressers because I need to find the right stylist for me that's going to do a hairstyle that I like for my big day. So there's definitely going to be a lot of wedding hair focused videos. Oh, actually there is my ring. As you can see, it's twizzled because I need to get it sized. So, but I wanted to get this video out, you know, beforehand whilst I still had it on my finger. Bloody love it. It's an oval. That is the one thing I did actually suggest to Alex, and I'm surprised that he pinned into it. He asked me years ago, like, you know, when we get married, what would you like? And I'd said, oh, like an oval shaped stone, but couldn't care less about the rest of it, the colour, whatever. But it's beautiful, just a simple oval stone on a gold band, and I think it suits me really well. Just have to go and get it sized now. So that is my engagement story. Got proposed to by my own prince in a rose garden, making me feel like an absolute princess. Thank you guys so much for watching this long video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.